Alright, so I'm going to show you how to make chocolate because I've been getting some people asking and I don't have a recipe. I'm just going to show you how much I use and then you can just take it from there. So I'm starting with coconut oil. It's on the stove. The heat is extremely low as it can go, because we're going to be melting this chocolate in it. Should I put it even lower? Okay, as low as it can go. And we're melting this Ghirardelli 100% cacao in here.
So cacao normally just tastes pretty bitter by itself, but when Becca does her magic, it tastes incredibly sweet with no sugar added.
Well, stevia is a flavor you have to get used to, but once you get used to it, you'll never go back because you'll feel amazing.
Oh, wow.
So it's starting to melt. You really have to stir it so it doesn't burn. You can also use like one of those fancy double boilers, but
a pot inside a pot.
Yeah, one of those. But this isn't. We're not going for fancy here. Also use this Trader Joe's.
It's gotta be 100%.
Just make sure it's a chocolate bar with nothing else added. There are many variations of this that are just coconut oil and cacao, but I like to add this bar in to just give it more substance, and also so you don't have to freeze it, you can just refrigerate it because we don't have a freezer. This is the meat. This is the most important part. Yes, this is cacao, but it's not organic. I don't really know where it came from. Ghirardelli might be good, but this is organic. I trust it more. And it has loads of magnesium in it. And cacao has so many other benefits. So I'm gonna I have these little, it's probably about this is probably a tablespoon and a half.
Heaping tablespoon and a half.
But you can eye it up. It really, there's room to, you know, use more or less.
You can always add more coconut oil if you make it too strong.
This is a good thing. Usually baking has to be very precise, but this chocolate does not.
We're in this amazing kitchen to do
Yes. Special thank you to Alison for letting us stay here.
It's looking pretty good now.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Melted?
Yes, everything's all melted. I'm gonna bring it over here. This is where we add everything. So this is what makes it sweet, stevia. And make sure there's nothing added to your stevia. Make sure it's just organic stevia. That's really important. And this is actually sometimes hard to find. I found this at Whole Foods. And stevia is not usually the best on its own as the only sweetener. It can get a little bit bitter, but it is best used to enhance other sweet things. So I can taste the stevia, it's in here. So that's why when you add these unsweetened coconut flakes, it enhances the sweetness of the coconut, which is awesome. And basically keep tasting, adding more coconut oil, adding more cacao, until it's a flavor that you like. And then you start adding all the other things. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. You can add cinnamon here if you'd like, because cinnamon is something that naturally enhances sweetness as well. And I'm actually just going to add more of each of these now that everything's melted, because I want to make a lot. So 2 more heaping teaspoons, we'll say, of coconut oil.
Yeah, that's like the only problem with this is since there's no sugar, there's no real reason not to eat it.
No, it's not a problem though, because you're eating really great stuff. It makes me feel amazing, and we eat it as often as possible.
We eat a lot of it.
And yeah, but who cares? I don't think we get enough fat in our diets regardless, so. Okay. So now we start adding things. Organic unsweetened coconut flakes. We'll do...
This is very precise measurement of 20 shakes.
So that's like about a 1/4 cup. So that's like about a tablespoon. We'll do another tablespoon. So 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds. raw almonds, handful number 1. That's about a 1/4 cup. But we really like the almonds. And they're really good for you. And a protein and healthy fat, so we'll add another 1/4 cup. And Kevin's gonna eat the stray ones.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we got a nice little soup going.
Making chocolate soup.
It'll stay melted for a little bit, so you don't have to like rush around and add all your ingredients. You can really think about it and be like, what do I have in my kitchen that I want to put in here?
Yeah,
I love adding unsweetened dried cherries. So let's try it.
What you feeling?
Yeah, it's fine. It's ready. So
Here comes the magic.
use a pan like this and put parchment paper in it so you don't have a mess. And just spread it out. So I don't mix the chia seeds in, so I just pour them on top.
And why are chia seeds good, Beck?
I'd say healthy fats are up there. And our brain really needs lots of healthy fats to function correctly. So I don't get loads of that from meat because I don't eat a lot of meat, so I get them from my nuts and my seeds. But even meat eaters could use a boost. And then the last part is I sprinkle. I'm very careful. One time we dumped so much salt in there, it was really bad. So, okay. Sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on top.
That sweet and salty flavor.
Yeah. It ends up tasting kind of like a chocolate covered pretzel. And then stick it in the fridge and let it sit there for a couple hours until it hardens. Clearly not a professional at this. And then when it's done, you're gonna break it apart and eat it.
Yummy.
Okay. So I messed up. I totally forgot vanilla. So if you forget something, just, pour it in,
Just mix it right up.
stir it up.
This one will have chia seeds in it. I'll pull it out.
So we're gonna experiment and see how chia seeds mixed throughout is gonna go.
I think
So-
it'll taste great. It looks so crazy in the light.
So yeah, don't forget the vanilla because that's essential.
This is still not as bad as the first bar we made. We accidentally dumped salt.
Like probably like an entire teaspoon or more of salt, and we just had to mix it in and just eat it. But we still ate it, even though it was the saltiest chocolate I've ever had in my entire life.
It was way too salty. It's way easier to put stuff in than it is to take stuff out.
Exactly. So just add some stuff if you forget before it melts. It's a very forgiving recipe. Did you get that?
Yeah.
And a couple hours later, we have a nice little bar of chocolate that you can just literally lift off parchment paper
Break it up.
and break it up, and then just store it in a bag in your fridge or freezer.
Have a little piece.
Sure. It always tastes better cold than it does hot when you dip your finger in and try it. So know that it gets a little sweeter tasting. Happy chocolate making.